and happy July 4th in the year 2018. I'm Alex Ansary. We have a story that is breaking here. Feel free to let me know what's taking place moment to moment. I'm not going to be surfing the web as we are live. First of all, it's a celebration. It is July 4th, 2018. We'll talk about what we put our focus and attention on. So we are celebrating the independent free spirit within. We're also taking a look here with regards to this story out of Long Island, which has been evacuated. Liberty Island, I'll have to retitle. Evacuated after a woman climbs on Statue of Liberty pedestal. So I'm reading from CBSnews.com. And by the way, I'm going to be live here for the next 10 minutes or so. Then we will, I'll take a break and probably come back with more stories throughout the night. Heralding in this, it almost feels like a new year, July 4th, 2018. Again, welcome new viewers. Please subscribe if you're new. Please thumb up the videos. The top story basically at the moment, the whole world's watching. It's like looking for liberty in all the wrong places. Liberty Island in New York Harbor was being evacuated Wednesday after a woman climbed onto the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. The National Park Service confirms to CBS News. Spokesperson has said that people on Liberty Island are being taken to neighboring Ellis Island, Battery Park in New York City, or Liberty State Park in New Jersey. So this is related to ICE. Things that are taking place now. People are going to have different perspectives. I glanced at the because this is happening right now. Some of the comments about the woman. Pretty lowbrow. I think they're telling her to jump. Now, one thing that I'll say, there's been a lot of injustice anyways. People need to be careful. Sometimes I wonder if some people are doing certain things for attention. Sometimes I wonder where people have been all these years, as we've seen more centralization of control, as we've seen so many injustices, so many people killed, so many people going along with these political systems that enable that military-industrial complex. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that or in a state of anger. Are people waking up? Are people still in a box? Is this part of, the controlled psyops? Because I look at this from a number of different angles, and there are ways in which the media pumps people up so they go down to the protest and think they're a part of something, when in reality it could be still part of the controlled paradigm. And we see how behaviors of certain people in office lead the way to the person that follows them. So we see this pathway from George Bush Jr., decisions made, the way things were framed in the media, and how it led to Barack Obama, which did not bring us change we can believe in. Led to banker bailouts, led to more wars, and that led to the current situation. Some people think that's a change of course. It's yes, 22 trillion, 23 trillion, 24 trillion, change in course. Let it ride. Yeah, that sounds up. And every step leads to, and where is this going to lead? Who are we going to get in 2024? Like the progression of things, although we aren't really progressing, the regression of things, right? One joker leads to another. So, right? And let's look at this from a number of different angles. Is she suicidal? If she is suicidal and she's climbing the Statue of Liberty, at what point have we failed as a nation? Where people feel they have to kill themselves or act like they're going to do something reckless in order to get people's attention. And there are certain people that are going to say negative things about her. Most of the comments were perverse, to be frank. 80%. That was just glancing over the course of a minute. And so there's a real lack of compassion regardless of what your political position might be and or on ice, right? There could still be compassion for people that may be having mental health crises. And there could be some people that are egging her on like, yeah, climb that statue. Yeah, show Donald Trump. F you, Trump, climb that statue. Maybe she shouldn't be climbing that statue. Let's see what's in the comment section. We have 10 people watching. And remember to thumb up. NewYorkDailyNews.com. And again, an apparent protest device. And before, I'm going to have to close that. It's trying to open up a window. We can't do that. We can't be playing anything because we need this broadband. Again, this Independence Day celebration, because the technology, as I've been mentioning in each video, the YouTube technology, whatever they did, this new feature that started about 4 months ago has enabled me to come to you from off the grid without it breaking up. And because I've already been through this nonsense with it breaking up and people complaining about it and it, really affecting the quality, I'm grateful. And the key to success, the key to keeping ourselves together psychologically is to be grateful for the most simplest of things in this life. For our limbs, for our hearing, for our ears. I mean, there are literally people that lose their fingers and their ears and their eyeballs because they were born in the wrong time in the wrong place. Do we ever pause and go, wow, we really were spared from waking up in a nightmare, weren't we? We may not have liked everything that we went through as a childhood, but I can look back and you can look back and we can go, but we didn't grow up like those kids. How many of you can raise your hand along with me and say, we were never molested or never seriously messed up by another human being or our parents? I'm talking about like seriously to where you're in the hospital or your butt hurts literally. Now think about that. Think about all the different people that never experience certain hardship. And so they don't have gratitude for simple things in some cases. Anyways, I'm just trying to keep us grounded. Right now, there are fires burning. Physically in Colorado, there are fires burning in the hearts and minds of people. Some of them identify with the president. Some identify with being against the president. But when you step back and you look away from the colors of the gangs in the streets, you actually just see a embodiment of energy, a fire. It's one. It's not left, right. It's a ball of energy. Sure, some things need to be hashed out. Sometimes people need to make a protest and, make a stand. Sometimes, however, nothing's getting done. And it's just simply people being very emotional during full moons. Very emotional during their own cycle, if you will. Very emotional during solar flares and things of that nature. We live now in a very complicated society, by the way, to where the left says that the right are wholesale Nazis, and then the right says that the left are wholesale Nazis, and both sides will deny elements of systematic racism within their own communities that they may have contributed to or enabled or looked away from. A lot of people like to say, we're living in Nazi Germany when they're building up their own political case. And they're like the heroes, right? So they've literally built up the script where one side's completely evil and one side's completely good. And this makes sense for most Americans. Most Americans, it makes sense for them to be staunch Republicans, they're good. The other party's bad. Other people are like, oh, we're Democrats. We care about immigrants. The other party's racist. Yeah, where were you protesting when Obama was expanding the wars? I'm sorry? Oh, now it's time to act like we care now. Now it's time to act like we care. Alex Ansary can see right through those that do that. Just like those that are running PR for the current selection, talking about all these deep state operatives that killed the children. Oh, the children in the Middle East. What are you saying that's not still happening? Are you saying wars are no longer continuing to expand throughout the Middle East like a wildfire out of control in southern Colorado? Is that what I'm hearing? That is what I'm hearing. And I'm here to help pull you out of that illusion. I'm not here to fight with you. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to tell you that you need to believe a particular way about anything. I'm here to say, hey guys, take a look at these things that are taking place. People may be egging on this lady climbing the tower, but it's feeding into that gasoline. It's pouring gasoline from. There are people also. It happened with a girl in Portland. She killed herself. She jumped off a building, and she was making a statement. I think about the economics that we're living through, and then maybe what she was going through. I mean, people have seen just extreme leaps in their rent. And when people think, "Hey, I'm going to climb a building. I'm going to make a stand," and it's sad because a lot of these people are forgotten, and I don't think that the very issue that they were trying to bring awareness of was really dealt with by their death. If you pay attention closely, you'll notice, and we want to tune out away from the negativity, but there's a lot of voices out there like to say things like, "Is my chat disabled? Is that what happened?" I may have disabled the chat. Who knows? Under the settings. I was actually waiting for people to appear, but that's okay. Ultimately, live streams are fun. It's been a while. I really miss being live on cable access to a certain degree and talking to people in my own community. But now it's like somebody could be watching in New York City. Somebody could be watching in, and thank you for the thumb up. Someone could be watching in Southern California. Someone could be watching in a foreign country. One of the things that I'm even thinking about doing is doing just morning live streams just for the fun of it. 5 o'clock in the morning, my time, for those days that I'm able to get up. 8 o'clock, I guess it'd be like, basically I'm able to live stream most hours throughout the day now without having much of a latency issue. So I'm going to conclude right now on this stream. I'll try to make sure the chat is open for the next video that I'll do in a few minutes. Please subscribe if you're new. If you want to become a monthly contributor, if you enjoy some of this content, if you would like to make certain content suggestions for maybe even later videos tonight, and again, I can be found on Twitter. Please like alexansary.tv. Okay. So our chat was working, but I'm going to be reaching people at different times of the day. We're going to bring it to a close here, MGTOW Vegan. But as we do so, we'll probably come back in a minute. Anything specific you want to say at the moment? We have a quiet chat room. I will go back and maybe read a couple more headlines. But some of the live streams that we've done have gone on for hours. So I'm thinking I'm going to do more videos, but space them out. Doesn't necessarily need to be like one long 2-3 hour video. Probably see what else is going on in the world right now. This is a whole new thing for me to, I don't know if you've noticed, but due to economics, and I haven't been asking for money specifically for a camera. There's things that are more important. But I was having to actually happy to be a part of the shift. Amanda Miller. Oh, mine was screwy. I had to activate the chat. Never had to do that before. So YouTube has had bug issues. That's the thing. And somehow or another, right? They've got it to the point where little old Alex using satellite internet, slow internet, is actually able to come to you. And I don't know if it's full HD on your end. It's an HD webcam. I'm not sure if it's the full specs of 1080. But I'm amazed because I sometimes have to wait to watch a YouTube video that I'll watch at 144, low quality. It'll take me a few minutes in some cases to pull up a news article, right? The internet isn't great. And so I think that some of these live streams are definitely a big improvement from last year. So we'll probably wrap things up here in the next few minutes. I appreciate the feedback on the good quality, right? As you can see in my little makeshift set here, I'm not coming to you from an urban environment, that I'm doing this basically on the cheap. This is something that somebody can do traveling. And on one level, it can inspire somebody else if they want to share their ideas with the entire world, even speaking all day on a live stream. They have made it easier than ever, and I may not always comment, but I'll check out videos from others when they subscribe to my channel. It doesn't happen too often that somebody else has content, but was it Rhonda? It was somebody that joined recently. And who knows what video initially attracted them. And this is much higher quality camera. Like I said, I was using, due to economics, I'm not able to replace my old Canon. And so I was seeing my microphone, my white microphone, that to the camera. And no matter how much I tried, you see how much I've been moving this thing around. We're going to, you know what? And no matter how much I tried to deal with that, no matter how much I edited, no matter how hard I tried, it's very difficult to anyway get that to work. So I'm glad this is working. I have a fan that's blowing over there. But yes, I am in the state of Colorado. I am in a rural part of Colorado. I am not in Denver to ME. I am originally from Portland, Oregon. Yep. I escaped Portland, Oregon. They tried to mind control me, though, but I escaped. Yep. They tried to convince me that it's like Disneyland, you know, like some sort of like progressive little, when you wish upon a star, you know, then this TV show came out like Portlandia. You know, I saw its role in the social engineering. I know you're not asking for the life story, but I'm just giving it to you anyways. So yeah, long story short, I'm going to and I see myself as an exile from one of the most popular United States cities. Even if some people think I'm lit, but because I'm not on board the left-right paradigm, right? I've gone my own way. It's not that's not an easy path to walk. Economically, it's very difficult. So, Portland, Oregon is but a memory. The future? Well, we don't know what the future is, but I like to see something other than the zombie apocalypse come about in this country. You know, I'd like to see some positive signs. I look for positive signs. I don't just try to subscribe to schools of thought out there on the internet, you know, that's just pointed in supposedly a negative direction. I like to look at reality as it is without trying to sugarcoat things. But I'm also looking for, where are we needing to break the codes of the matrix? How do we overcome the negativity that's out there in this world and continue to find people of like minds? And right now we're doing things on a digital level. And on one level, it's replaced our relationships, but it's not entirely inherently negative what we've got going on here. And this is something that needs to refine itself. You know, the very fact that I can instantaneously for free communicate with someone across the seas, to refine what it is that we're doing. Now I'm going in circles here. Or do we have any updates with this Liberty Island story where this woman is putting her life into her own hands? I'm thinking about taking a break and maybe coming back. What FEMA camp are you at? You know, the question would be, what FEMA region are you in? I don't know. I don't numerologically know what FEMA region I'm in, but I know that it was not a wise choice, although it didn't really bring me any harm. But I did go to a FEMA facility once. Look up the video of me going to FEMA Region 6 in Denton. And talk about suspicious, right? You're like hanging out with some Ron Paulers in like some group on Facebook. And it's like, hey, how about we go up to that FEMA camp and ask them some hard questions about NDAA? I don't know how I thought that was a good idea. But we ended up like, I don't know, just a sense of fearlessness. Like, okay, what if it is a camp? What are you doing walking up there? Like, we were walking around the friggin' perimeter of the damn place. Me and this guy named Steven, we were friends for a while and in Dallas, went out and had a few beers. And those were some interesting times. 2012. I feel like the Ron Paul stuff brought a lot of people together where there isn't that unity today. But I don't think that Ron Paul is an angel. And I think that there's probably a lot of co-opting the liberty movement, even then. Right? But have I met certain people that are like my friends now from those early days? Was there more community then? Yes. You know, I want to hope that there's going to be people that are going to find each other and rally around something in today's day and age where it's not around these dominant party politics. And people that watch my content on a regular basis know that I'm not siding with either. I've seen people that have been really excited about Bernie Sanders. And they were so excited about Bernie Sanders. Again, they're just playing this whole, okay, we're going to put all our chips in one basket behind this guy. And if that doesn't work and what he's doing, oh, well, we'll just move on to the next one and act like we're coming together as a community. I'd like to buy a world, a Coke. And it, you know, I'm a soul. I have a soul that has a body. Yep, I'm a soul that has a body. And I'm bearing witness to this. I'm bearing witness to this left-right paradigm. And it's Independence Day, by the way. Yep, I don't know if you knew that. And how do we know? What does the 4th of July mean to you, though? Yep. Those are the questions that we ask ourselves. What changes did you notice moving here from Portland to Colorado from Portland? I want to keep this under 30 minutes and then just simply take a break and come back. So don't feel like I'm jumping ship too quickly, but I'm going to try to break up these videos. That's a long. Right. MGTOW Vegan has been told that Portland is the best city. Everything's relative. So we look at things from this perspective of relativity. Somebody from the Bronx that's made their money doing such and such that migrates to Portland from their perspective, having lived their life there, or for some people, and again, for those that, and even people that are really low income, some people like to or really enjoy Portland. It says more about the cultural suppression throughout the United States, suppression of choice under the guise of conservatism. It's unfortunate, right? People use conservatism as a front for their own agenda. I don't particularly have a particular bias against, it's not so much politics as that people will use some of that stuff for their own engine of control, even on the other side. So how that relates to this, you know, Portland has a lot of free-spirited stuff. It's disappointing to see so much of that under the box of liberalism or Democrat, when I also know from living in Portland, I've met a lot of people that are outside of that box. But from people that aren't from Portland, it's just one big city of, and for the most part, they're right. That's why it was difficult for me to really build up support for some of this stuff in Portland. But there were still some memories that I have in Portland, and it's more conducive to I mean, think about all the different, you know, again, it is very hot here in this non-conditioned July 4th off-grid live stream video from somewhere out there that's not on fire in Colorado. Let's keep this in perspective. Keep this in the larger scope of things. I'm surrounded by fires, folks, but I'm okay at the moment. I'll let you know if I'm panicking, and you'll probably notice an increase in the volume being shared. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing any live stream of any fires. If it was to go through here, I suppose I can flip it on and just take off. You have the issue of certain cities that have, for whatever reason, energetically been open enough to have people that are different throughout time share their ideas there, including their culinary arts, other forms of art. And we do live in a very suppressive world. It likes to control people, tell people that they have to bow to Yahweh. That's right. Kiss it. Kiss Yahweh's ring. You see it in the comment section, and you see like this old world, old religion, bow down, bow down to the authority. And so like so much of old world America is still that. That doesn't mean to take away from some of those positive things about some of those regions to where they grow their own food, right? And they have cows. And some of these areas are really beautiful. But when you actually go and travel to some of these areas, you see there's an up and a down that comes with living alongside nature, is that they're really slow to catch up with the 21st century. And see, we actually already understand history and how long it's come for some people to have certain rights in this country or for certain ideas to be welcomed. We look at why some people are drawn to cities, and it isn't just some libtard George Soros conspiracy theory, Agenda 21. There are people that do everything in their power to get away from the Corn Belt. Do you understand? To get away. I know you do, some of them, some of you, but some of you may not be in the United States. Some of you may be young. Some of you may never have traveled. There are some people that have been so suppressed by their own friggin' abusive family in some cases, or in some cases, the church, to where they're thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of Mississippi. I just can't, like it's their dream to get out of Louisiana. It's their dream to get out of like Timbuk nowhere. And who are we to be blaming and angry at people that move somewhere because they're trying to make their life, they want to be somebody different than their friggin' parents. You know what I mean? Not to put down someone's parents or anyone's parents, right? But that's something that a lot of humans identify with. By the way, I think things are, looking a lot better than they were earlier in the day. I've had just all different types of challenges recording off the grid and including in some cases the energy. It's difficult in some cases when the algorithm lowers our reach, when we're reaching less people. And I post on Facebook and I post on Twitter and nobody sees my posts, or you put a lot of work into a video or you edit it or something to that effect. If you ever been through something like that, and then you just see the video demonetized or no one even sees it. And so, I've also been trying to determine, is there even a future with where we are online on YouTube? Will my channel continue to grow? Are we going to reach this wall? Are we being censored? Are we being held back? Or are these just new challenges that they've added to the YouTube algorithm? And will we, in the end, overcome? Because I would love to believe in this platform and bring you content each and every day for multiple hours. But I'd like to see things get better. I don't want to see the artificial intelligence machine punish me or an entire video of mine because I used a particular buzzword that was forbidden by their system. There's a certain amount of energy that's involved in just speaking. And so I just hope that things get better here. I really do, because we have been in some dark ages. So anyway, do we have any updates on the woman? Is anyone monitoring any of the updates? And then, of course, it goes without saying that I can't type back and forth in a chat situation when I'm talking. But I am going to have to leave and come back because I need to charge the computer. Thank you, Robin, for the super chat of $5. That is awesome. Got to go for now. Thanks for continuing to spread the truth and hopefully opening up some more eyes. I'll read a couple other comments and then, folks, we're going to close and I'll come back in a bit. But I don't want to go on and on. I do appreciate your support. I do appreciate the fact that you guys showed up. Let true freedom and justice ring for the lowly. I'm a soul in a body too. There's been increased traffic. One of them, it's like all of a sudden people are interested in this Gnostic information or things relating to that. And I've always seen those things as being kind of things that a lot of people don't understand, but I'm seeing an increase. I think that maybe, we enter these periods in which there's like a dark age and a period in which more people are waking up on an individual level. The world may not be seemingly waking up or in a better spot, but there'll be these waves, these flashes in the pan, and then people are going through these dramatic changes. And I think that we're in that time. I think that in this more restful part of the solar cycle, and before we go into the 2020s, I think a lot of us are trying to motivate ourselves to do the most that we can do. We may not know exactly what's going on, but we just have this inner feeling or inner knowing that the time that we spend here is pretty darn important. And the things that we do. Smoke weed while live streaming. I'd love to say, right, that the price has dropped as much as it should. So there are periods where I try to go completely without it because I really don't have the money in a lot of situations. Thank you for that super chat. It makes it difficult. And I do try to keep my budget limited to like the most basic fundamentals. And that's one of the reasons why I've been able to do what I've been doing for so long. And it's only now that I've had the ability to come to you on a live stream without having major latency or breakup. Like, this is revolutionary in a positive sense. The technology is evolving. And already I'm thinking about maybe future trips elsewhere in Colorado, places like Denver and the Springs for short spurts of time. Okay, so thank you guys all for being there. And I'm going to come back with another topic. I want to thank Robin again for the super chat. The better force that I've had, right? So I've spent a lot of 4th of July's in isolation, not really into the crowds, not really feeling the July spirit. And I'm grateful that I have a life, that this part of the county isn't on fire. People throughout Colorado and the world, for that matter, are praying for these people that have lost their homes, right? We may not have everything that we want in this life, but we have all of our limbs and we haven't lost our homes to a certain degree. And some of us at one point in our life were homeless, like myself. And it may have only been for a year, but like we may go through things that are there simply to make us stronger and to bring out that compassion for others that are struggling. All right, I will be back later. Thank you all for joining us on this July 4th live stream.